In a world where extreme competition exists everywhere, what does it take to have success in your career and in life? Join me, Nirvana Chaudhary, as I sit down with some of the most successful individuals to discover the secrets to their success, what continues to drive them, and to hear a few exclusive stories in the process. What drives them and their success code, their mantra for making it bigger. Hi guys, it's me Nirvana Chaudhary back again with my Making It Bigger podcast. I'm just absolutely honored and amazed to see so many successful people around me, and we're absolutely blessed with that. Today, I have someone who comes from one of the most illustrious and industrious families of the business in Nepal, Mr. Sanjay Golchha. Sanjay has been one of the leaders in his family business and has really taken a road less traveled, has gotten out and carved out a completely niche for himself in an industry which I would say have a major generational understanding and change. I'm sure in a context of Nepal, he's gone through a lot of challenges, a lot of bottlenecks. At the same time, he's been really successful in many business endeavors that he's done. I'm absolutely delighted that he's here with me today. Sanjay, how do you feel being in this podcast?
Thanks, Nirvan. I'm first of all, thanks for having me for your podcast, and thanks for the introduction. And
And Sanjay, you're someone I look up to a lot, and you're continuously challenging the status quo. You're continuously coming up with world-class ideas, world-class initiatives that's happened and bringing it to Nepal. What is it that really drives you, and what is your success mantra?
So, as you mentioned, I come from a very traditional kind of a family. It's a old legacy family, and most of the businesses we were in were mostly in traditional kind of businesses. But early on itself, I started kind of having my interest in IT and computers. I started programming when I was 10-year-old. So from there, I have had this interest, and I got a pleasure in whenever I could solve somebody's problem using the technologies. It could be a simple thing as fixing a computer for somebody, or giving somebody a solution through technology, right? So even when I went for my education to UK, computers were very new, but I got opportunity to get involved in that. I saw the potential of what IT could do for everybody. And after coming back to Nepal, of course, after a few years, I decided to start my own thing on the side for IT. I was not sure how it's going to pan out, but I have dedicated my passion in that field. And of course, as you said, Nepal, there are a lot of bottlenecks in this area, right? I mean, Nepal wasn't even ready for embracing all the technologies that was there. But I still continued, and today, of course, in Nepal, you see that every businesses are dependent on what kind of IT they embrace, right? And from a bank to a small shopkeeper, they all need to have IT. And that's what my company does, and that is what drives me. Is I get pleasure when I am able to solve somebody's problem using the technology, and that's my passion of doing what I do.
Fantastic. It's amazing to see the traits of such successful people who sort of start their journey from what they really believe in, from a completely different intent of being a problem solver, right at a very, very early age. And Sanjay, I just hear that from you, and that leading to transforming to passion, leading to an actual industry, which is, I would say today, probably one of the most fastest growing sectors in the world, as well as something that's becoming such an integral part in each of our lives. Now, in Nepal's context, you must have in initial days been very hard to explain to traditional family-owned business stakeholders what your aspirations or vision of IT is, let's say 20 years ago. Today it's visible to everyone. How did you manage to do that? Was it easy for you to start your venture on your own? Was it very welcoming and you got a lot of support in starting that? What was that little bit of a journey you went through?
Very good question, Nirvan. And initially, when I started, in this journey, I started making a software, and I wanted to implement it in my own company, in our family business. And there was a lot of resistance because you're talking like almost 20 years ago, and when I put up a concept of putting accounts in softwares, everybody was hesitant that, and they did not even understand what were the possibilities of, that what IT would bring in. But of course, I'm thankful that my family was also very forward thinking. So we did embrace it. So that gave me a lot of encouragement as well. And of course, as my company grew on, we did have a lot of challenge. And I would say even today we face a lot of challenge to explain to people what IT can do for them. But there are, now, as I said earlier, that people do realize the importance. So, it is getting better. I was probably maybe a little bit ahead of time.
Sometimes I think in life, to stay alive, you got to stay ahead, right? And I think all your decades of involvement in the sector, understanding of the sector, and plus, I don't see any reason why tomorrow a country like Nepal cannot give birth to the next Bill Gates, right? Today, the world is it's a boundaryless world we are living in. The world is your entire market. Entire industries or any economic stakeholders are all implying a strong usage of IT in their companies. The bigger companies are not coming to Nepal as yet. So do you see that as a massive opportunity for you?
Yes, of course. It is a great opportunity not only for me as my business, but I see it as an opportunity for Nepal. With the kind of skill level that is existing in Nepal, with the massive youth population that we have in Nepal, I see no reason that Nepal should not become a leader in IT and take advantage of that. We have Nepal could become the back office of the world. So Nepal, we lost out on the first wave of IT opportunities, but I think that the current opportunities that exist in Nepal, we should not be missing it. And I don't see any reason why Nepal cannot produce the other Bill Gates, like what you said. And there are many people from Nepal who have been very, very successful in this field.
Great, Sanjay. Thank you so much. You've been able to share your views, your experiences in my podcast. Lastly, before you go, I would really, really like to request you to give a message to, in my mind, I was thinking whether it's Gen X or Gen Y or the millennials. I really want to request you to give a message to the millennials. What would it be?
So, the business mantra, like what you said, Nirvan, what I feel is that, there are three things that are very important to me that everybody should follow. One is, of course, innovation. And for the new millennials and the new generation, innovation comes very naturally. But on top of that, there are two other things that I would like to emphasize on. One is ethics and values. And the other one, of course, is hard work. You cannot escape these two.
Again, very, very, very truly said. Hard work, innovation, following your dreams, following your heart, the passion that you have. Once again, guys, this is the true traits of a successful leader and a visionary. Thank you so much, Sanjay, for being part of my show. I'm sure your mantras and values will greatly benefit the listeners of the show. Thank you so much for making time.